In this box is an unreleased electric dirt bike that might just become the undisputed king of the Surron world. Because where the Surron only has a 60-volt battery boasting 46 miles of range, this prototype has a 96-volt, much larger battery that boasts longer rides up to 75 miles, with 6,000 watts continuous power and up to 15,000 peak. So it looks great on the spec sheet, but how does this bike perform in reality? We're about to find out. Wow, these straps are dense. The box is significantly larger than a Surron or an E-Ride, but is the bike? Oh yeah, much larger. This box is really unique. I've never seen one like this before. It's like a crate where each panel can be removed separately, which is awesome for dirt bikes because I'm always cutting around the entire edge with a razor blade to get it out. Or I can just easily peel off the sides and reveal the box. Here's our goodie mystery box right on top. It's probably got our charger and stuff. Sorry I'm such a nerd, guys. This is just what I love. I do Grindhard Plumbing Co. during the week, absolutely love it, and this is my passion project on the weekends. It's not that heavy, and that's the entire bike outside of the front tire. Now what is this? Looks like an old telephone wire. Is that to keep the wires together? Oh, yeah. Here we've got what you would see on an E-Ride Pro or a Surron. Same exact front tire, wheel, same exact spacers. All these bikes are similar platforms, but this one is very special. Also, first thing I notice, big rear tire compared to what you get on anything else in this category and price range. So that's good to see. I think these guys are actually making this bike for off-road use, which I like. It always sucks if you get a brand new dirt bike and the first thing you have to do is upgrade the rear wheel size because you want to actually use it. And then you have this brand new wheel sitting around that you just paid for and don't get to use. Let's dig into the goodie box. This big battery is charged by a surprisingly small charger. Also comes with a toolkit, and we've got some hardware in here as well. The plug looks like it's bigger than what you'd get on my old Surron, but very similar to what I saw on the Segway X160. There's no way anything was gonna get scratched in this packaging. That's for sure. I can tell already the seat is going to be way bigger than a Surron, which is fantastic news. That was always something that was way too small on those type bikes. When I say Surron in this video, I really mean this whole class of bike. These frames, the suspension geometry, they're all very similar, but to me, the Surron is just a good blanket term to cover this whole category. A bunch of parts were packaged, just zip tied onto these forks. It looks like we have a fender and a heavy duty number plate. This is quite cool. And the fender itself is pretty thick, but still light. I really like this design. You can tell that's kind of wide enough where if you put the larger front tire on the front, it wouldn't look dorky and would actually catch a bit of the mud. And this is a good sign. Check this out. We have direct mount and adjustment in the forks. To any manufacturer doing a stem mount handlebar setup on a dirt bike, shame on you. They're too heavy for that. You tip it over once, you hit a branch, you twist your bars, and then you're out there fiddling. No. Maybe it works on some bicycles, but dirt bikes are too heavy for that stuff, so this is what you want right here. Came with spacers to bring those up too, which is pretty sweet. Nearly every part of this bike was zip tied to the forks with a bunch of foam. There is no way that any of this is getting damaged in shipping. There are no instructions or anything in the packaging, but this is a prototype. This is not a production model. It's coming soon, so I'm sure that final version will have some kind of assembly instructions or QR code or something like that. And I mean, you don't even really need instructions with this thing. Put on the handlebars and the front tire. I'm sure that's gonna be it, is what it's looking like. And yeah, turns out this was a super easy build. That's pretty much it. All right, enough messing around. Why do I think that this bike is going to dominate its category for off-road? It's because the battery is absolutely massive. So let's go ahead and get it on the charger now. The charger actually looks pretty good. Charging at 1550 watts. Oh. Yep, that's a fast charger. So the majority of the garage has been converted to a game room, and I forgot I had this heater plugged in. We're not gonna do that and charge a dirt bike at the same time. Now for the next step, I'm excited to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video because they have helped get tens of thousands of people out of debt. PDS Debt dives into your specific scenario and comes up with a plan just for you. They take medical debt, credit card debt, and they are trusted in this space. You can see their reviews, 5 stars galore. They're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau, and there's no minimum credit score required. They are here to help you get out of debt faster. So stop living in debt, get your free assessment, and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com/olding. You are just 30 seconds away from getting started to become debt-free. So get your free assessment now at pdsdebt.com/olding. That's pdsdebt.com/olding. Now let's get back to building this bike. Now the lights are back on and I'm happy because that's exactly what you want out of a charger. It to charge fast enough to take all the power out of your breaker. So perfect. So now that the power is back on, we have lights in the garage again. I decided to pick back up on the front end, putting on the fender, the front wheel and tire. This is a super easy process. The brakes even come already attached and bled, so no trouble here. This started at 1 dot, so it's charging pretty fast. Just gotta throw this on, put it to the test. You got a D&M burner in the rear, so the same kind of thing you get on any of the Surron bikes. But that meaty 16-inch tire, between that and the battery, I think this thing is going to be a lot of fun on the trails, but we don't know until we try. But when I was putting on the last finishing touches for the test drive, I found something I was not expecting. I found something both interesting and pretty exciting. To everyone who's worked on a Surron before, or a Surron-like bike, it's missing the worst part of a Surron. The jack shaft. There's always this belt that you have to keep tight or a chain if you upgrade it, and it's just a disaster. This one doesn't have it. So it must have a different, hopefully better way of gearing down the power of the motor so it's actually usable. And I bet you it's in here. Hey, look at that. A gear reduction. That looks really strong. You've got solid steel skid plate, also nice. And that, wow, what is that? That must be a breather of some sorts, like a crankcase breather, probably for this box. Yep, there's the other end of it. So you've got the motor output going into this box, reducing the gearing to this drive sprocket. Bam. And we've got a 48 tooth 420 chain sprocket on the rear, but Surrons and E-Rides come with a 19 in the rear, so the 16, we already have a reduction there. plus whatever reduction we have here. Maybe this thing's got some nice low end torque, even without putting on a bigger sprocket in the rear. Cool. I like that. Wait, it almost looks like the whole entire seat swivels up. And that it did, giving us easy access to this hot swappable giant battery. I'll have to ask the guys at Goat Power Bikes, but I bet you they built this thing for hunters. I mean, pretty low to the ground so you can stay stable, even if you have a lot of weight. Giant seat for comfort, strapping gear to. This is meant for people who are actually gonna go on trails. So let's go on some trails and this thing charges. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about. Took Surron, what, 5 years to change anything, even though they were an industry leader? And here's Goat, just about to release their first dirt bike in that space. And they've already made serious upgrades before the thing even goes for sale. First things first, let's see this new seat. New handlebars with a raise, I agree. Oh, nice. The new seat had some texture to it, making it a lot more grippy, and it looks like they've already updated their suspension linkage, a bigger, beefier rear shock, and an 18-inch wheel. And with this setup is how you would get the acclaimed 71 miles an hour top speed. But I'm excited to test out the lower geared 16-inch option, so I'm sticking with it for now. Woo, it feels mad torquey. And that truck we're giving away at grindhardplumbingco.com. Brand new Cummins. So the new seat is textured and a lot more grippy. The new screen is significantly larger, as is the new shock. Bigger, wider, bigger spring, and this is the new linkage. You can tell it goes up at the end. This one would have had less leverage, is my best guess. So I'm going to throw in the new rear end, and then we're going to test this thing. I'm going to put the taillights and blinkers on for the road test after the off-road test. And just in, Goat is doing a coupon code for you guys. Code Edwin will get you a discount on anything on the site. Whoa, cool. So it's totally custom to them now. The snow has finally melted at Ethan's property, so it seemed like the perfect place to put this new bike to the test. All right, let's start an e-mountain bike ride, because what I'm most interested in with this bike is the range and just how it feels off-road. We're gonna get after it here. Oh, feels pretty smooth. I mean, all the Walmart bikes bottom out on that feature, so you gotta remember the row of trucks is here. Now let's do a rally loop. Let's go hard on this thing, really put this big battery to the test. Oh yeah, it's got that low end power nice and good. Let's put this. Soft landing. Nice. Let's see, eco mode. Very chill. Let's see if we could even go up things like this in eco mode. No. Eco mode is like very eco. You know what this bike has that no other Surron really has locked in yet? Its seat is big enough that the fender actually keeps mud off of you. I think they did a good job on the stock gearing on this bike. Because what's great about e-bikes is you can just creepy crawl through anything just like this. And this seems to have higher ground clearance than a Surron. This is like probably the ultimate hunting bike is the impression I'm getting so far. Because you've got plenty of grip, plenty of power down low. You got a bigger seat so you can sit further back for bigger guys. I'm 6 foot, like 185, and a Surron feels small on me. This doesn't feel small on me. I want to say the wheelbase definitely feels longer, which makes your balance point a little further back. Like if you see anyone wheeling a Harley or something with a really long wheelbase, you're basically right at 12 to hit that balance point. If you're off-roading, you're off-roading, and that seems to be what this goat is made for. Oh yeah, like stuff like that, great. Really torquey low end, really nice. I want to say the front feels softer than the rear still. I did notice that you could put more air into the fork, so maybe I'll try that out. See if I can't pair it up with the rear, because I like the way the rear feels. This is one of the steeper hill climbs on the property, no problem. We'll do a lap and then go do the steepest. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. And the shock is adjustable in the rear and front. I haven't adjusted it at all. Man, it's nice not getting totally soaked when you go through puddles like you do on a suck Surron. Man, she is torquey. It feels like more than 6 kilowatts. Oh, the expert log ride was crushed recently. Big mud puddle to slow you down right before. Oh yeah, you get up nearly anything on this bike. Feels good. As you can probably tell by how much more confidently I'm driving it now. The forks honestly feel good for this slow cruising. And maybe they're easier to upgrade than on a Surron, where you have to basically just get insanely expensive mountain bike forks. But this has triple clamps. So maybe you could just like triple clamp in an upgraded fork, something like that. This is in kilometers right now. Let's see what the top speed is.
Just a reminder, I am on the 16-inch rear tire. The other option is an 18, and I think that is going to be faster with the taller gearing. But according to GPS, we hit 51 going uphill on a gravel road that I couldn't even hold the hammer down for very long. So that's pretty good, but the weight is definitely in the front of this bike with this battery. It makes wheeling pretty difficult compared to what you'd get on a regular Surron.
The power is nice, man.
It looked like it looked pretty smooth.
Before I go over the range that I got on this ride, I want to tell you guys the downsides of this bike. So the curb weight of a Surron is 125 pounds. Now this, with the bigger battery and bigger frame, you're gaining 75 more, totaling 200 pounds on this guy. And yes, you have that real triple clamp suspension, so it's hopefully easily upgradable, but it's just too soft of suspension for how much the bike weighs. And this is a problem you get with any bike that I've ever ridden in this class. But after my first test drive, that's the only real downside I see with this guy. That was a fun ride. I am drenched in mud, which is always a great sign. The battery's at 80%. It says 10 kilometers. Let's see if the potentially more accurate device on my phone begs to differ. Average speed of 9.2 miles per hour. Distance 6.5 miles, and that's at 80%. She's got it. I really want to do a long range ride with it and see what I can get out of the full battery, because obviously we're just guessing here that 20% off the top means the same as 20% at the bottom. It doesn't always work that linearly. I think I'm also going to need to but I would be 5 times this soaked and muddy on a regular Surron, because you can just see here where a regular Surron would end about here, we have this much more and a real fender that's actually like a thick solid plastic with a steel reinforcement right underneath it. And this little mud cover did a pretty good job. We don't have any mud here, which is how you mess things up. And our covers up front pretty much did their job as well. And this headlight's actually quite bright. It's so small, but you can see it in the woods. I will have a link to version 1 in the description, and then I will update that when the new one does come out. And again, code Edwin will get you a discount on the website. I'm gonna head home, guys, but don't forget, on grindhardplumbingco.com, we're giving away the RTR, the 1-ton Cummins, and $20,000 cash. Peace. Oh yeah, you've been moving dirt, man.